So I wanted to take a quick moment of silence to express gratitude, not just for y'all in the room, be it organizations or funders or other tech leaders like myself in this intersection of social good and technology, but I wanted to take a moment of silence and if you can, close your eyes if you feel comfortable with that. But the folks that I want to bring to center are the people that we're all working hard to enable or lift up. And so in an environment where we're talking and connecting and networking, we have to, I think, stay rooted in that end beneficiary, that child experiencing trauma, that foster youth in need of coaching, that person that has just experienced police violence, that microloan recipient, that person not experiencing equality, and let's make sure we're rooted there. So we'll come out of that with this theme of doing more good together. And the energy in this room resembles the energy in the room that I felt at Box headquarters when we hosted the recent demo day. This was a couple of months back. This is a photo of that great event. And in that room, you had the amazing energy that the brave entrepreneurs and the teams of the brave entrepreneurs in this room were getting together then with their mentees and their funders, and it was an exceptional evening and one I won't forget. And I was just backstage with Shannon and Kevin, and it's like observing proud parents. Like they're extremely happy about what's happening here and the work that's being done. So here's what I urge you in just a few minutes I have left. As organizations doing this important work, think about partnerships in three really important ways. Make certain that the partnerships that you form are bidirectional, right? So value is flowing both ways, right? You're not seeking money immediately. You're solving a problem together, and then the rest of those capacity building assets can follow. But these are the three things. Be sure that those partnerships build capacity. Be sure that those partnerships help you go bigger. And be sure that those partnerships blow minds. And so I'll spend just a moment in very brief vignettes of ways that I've seen members of the Fast Forward cohort over the years activate these three aspirations. Be it Brandon, working with one of the founders of Box as an advisory and board member to connect Brandon with the tech teams that he's going to need to scale their important work. I tip my hat to Jeff Q, one of our founders at Box. Or the way that Kiva and other organizations that have blended technology and social good successfully, that are mobilizing technology to make their work scale massively, right? Be it Box Technology or others. Or Sixto and his amazing team that you got a chance to hear a bit from earlier, in his way of bringing platforms into the back of their technology and service of their work, and not trying to build all of the ingredients that are necessary to build a world-class platform. Or finally, the work of Jess Ladd, who's a dear friend for many years, who I believe we get to hear from later on. And I'll not forget when we blew minds at last South by Southwest, when 200 advocates for women's health and technology showed up at one of our offices down in Austin. And as you see in this image, if you can see it, but Cecile Richards and Jess sat alongside Moj from BeautyCon and the amazing work that she does, or Cindy Levy, the outgoing executive-in-chief of Glamour magazine, talking about the intersection of women's health and tech, and literally arriving at standing ovations and raising six figures and having one of those unbelievable, mind-blowing experiences, to then be followed by dinner where Jess Ladd was chatting with Beth Comstock, the former chairman of GE, and other influential folks that could move them along in their journey. So please, 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 when you're building partnerships, be sure these things are being enforced. And if they're not, and they're not mutual, then they're not going to bring the value that they could. And so I'll leave you with a concept that I manage by. I was very fortunate to be one of the first people to work at Salesforce, helped shape some of the models that they've deployed over the years. I went and joined Meg Garlinghouse at LinkedIn for a few years after that, and then 4 years ago went to Box and helped found and scale Box.org. And we guide by this theory of benevolence, which means if the social entrepreneurs in the room and the tech-centered nonprofits succeed and win, and at the same time this commercial organization called Box that surrounds their success is winning, I want there to be a commensurate investment back into the social impact ecosystem, which in turn elevates our ability to invest in the social impact ecosystem, which in turn drives innovation and R&D and brand support and amazing talent and inspiration back into the brand. And this is a terrible graphic that I certainly need the marketing team to help me spruce up. I made it, but if you just see like these weird skinny arrows here on the edges, that really means this thing's turning. And so if you're a great organization that's seeking support from an organization like Box or Google or Twilio or I could go on and on and on and on and on, there are many of them here represented, come to us with problems to solve, right, instead of that immediate ask, because you're more likely to turn that cycle of benevolence that helps us thrive as a social impact enabling commercial entity that sends resources back into those good partnerships, blowing minds, building capacity, and so on, to then turn value and success for all parties involved. Please take a peek at box.org soon. The site is much in need of an update. I'll probably be hiring a manager of marketing soon, so look out for that job description to make that site better. But it's really a pleasure again, and I think I'll just bookend this as time has just expired with another brief moment of silence to think just for a moment about the work that you do and the person that you're doing it for. So focus just one more second and I'll step off the stage on that. And so I envisioned many of you in that moment of silence, so keep up the good work and I'll see you all soon. Thank you.